Today we're going to look at bad Magic the Gathering combos, but they actually work. Alright, so this was submitted by Ashton Miller in the comments section of our latest series. And it starts off with the Locust God. Locust God can do a lot of things. However, when you draw a card, you create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. That's convenient because Hualti Radiant Champion has quite the ultimate here at -8. You get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. So we draw a card, we create a 1/1, and then Hualti says, all right, you create a 1/1, you get to draw a card, and you get to draw into your entire deck. And the way we're going to win this, finish it all off, well, we're already playing blue because of the Locust God. We could choose a number of ways, but you know what? Let's be flashy. Let's play with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Maybe we're playing like a Super Friends type deck over here. Locust God might as well be a Planeswalker by itself. And then if you draw a card while your library has nothing in it, you win the game. And congratulations, you've done it! You pulled off the combo. Really convoluted, mostly because, oh my god, -8? How is that even gonna pull off? You're gonna need, like, what is it, doubling season? Does that double the loyalty? One of those cards. When the Planeswalker enters the battlefield, you get double the loyalty. That's the only way you're gonna get this to pull off. Fortunately, you're in green anyway. All right, what do you got for me, Valerio Sana, Sundial of the Infinite. With the Isochron Scepter. I feel like these are not coming in the right order. And you're going to imprint Final Fortune? How is that going to work? All right, so the card, you can imprint an instant or sorcery. Sorry, no. You can imprint, enters the battlefield, you may exile just an instant. No sorceries allowed. I've always wanted to imprint a Time Walk, but you can't do that. Only instants allowed. And then you can pay to tap it, make a copy of it. So we're going to use Final Fortune. Now, it's quite interesting that red actually has access to an instant speed, take an extra turn card. We have a red instant, take an extra turn after this one. At the end of that turn, you lose the game. Well, that would sound pretty sad. However, Sundial of the Infinite says, pay 1, tap, end the turn. It's over. Activate this ability only during your turn. And that's good, because then if you end the turn, you don't even get an end step. Exile all spells and abilities on the stack. Discard down to your maximum hand size. Damage wears off at the end. This turn and end of turn effects end. They don't even happen. So you get infinite turns. Very nice combo, actually. I would say it's a good combo. There's a lot of crap cards, but you know, I actually like combos where a lot of crap cards come together and it's busted. I like that type of combo. Beanpot has something looks very, very fair. Capsize with Teferi Temporal Archmage, Displacer Kitten, and 4 permanents that tap for 6. What the hell? Okay, so what's the deal here? When you give me 4 more cards, you gotta give me an explanation. That's the rule around here. Actually, even 3 cards, I'd prefer an explanation. 2 cards, I'll figure it out. Displacer Kitten, Avoidance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. What are we blinking? Probably the... Okay, so we're going to play Capsize. When we cast that, we can exile up... Oh, so you want to bounce mana plus permanents that tap for 6? So somehow we're creating enough mana to keep using Capsize. What does this thing do? The top 2 cards of your library, untap up to 4 target permanents. So we're blanking the Teferi with this, so that we can untap all our mana sources, so we can keep playing Capsize, so we can infinitely bounce all our opponent's stuff to their hand, while blinking the Teferi to give us the mana with our mana rocks or whatever to keep playing Capsize. All right, I figured it out. I think I got it. Did I get it? I think I got it. A lot of moving parts to this card. This combo requires a lot of mana. Some assembly required. Pyrobob. Rata Brabic. I swear, they're just making up names these days. The Urborg. Is this the Urborg? Then we have Alice Ilkor plus Boromir. You better have an explanation for this. Oh no, it's all one word. Boromir, Ward of the Tower. Choose the Boromir token as your ring bearer each time you use this. Oh god, the ring bearer. Some explanation required. Okay, we have a white 2 generic. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. And you can sacrifice Boromir. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. The ring tempts you. Because I don't even remember what the ring does. Okay, we have Ellis Ilkor, Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. That's nice. And then we have Drabic of Urborg. Vigilance, Ward 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of the creature, except it's not legendary. And it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So we can sack this, and it's going to keep coming back. Sacrifice Boromir. Creatures control gain indestructible until end of turn. The ring tempts you. How does it work? So choose the Boromir token as your ring bearer each time you use his ability. How does it come back? Whoops. So how does it come back? Creatures you control gain indestructible. So I understand. You sacrifice this. We're going to get a token. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's not legendary. It's a 2/2. But it's a token. If we sacrifice the token, how is it whenever another create? Oh, you just keep creating a token. You can keep creating a token of itself. Interesting. Yeah, your ring bearer, well, no, the question, I was just wondering, you're making a token of the thing that you sack. It's like the card itself is not coming back. This is a neat combo. So you go straight to the most OP version of the ring. But you're also, don't you just kill them anyway? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. You have infinite life and infinite death. That's enough. I don't know if you needed it. Was the ring necessary? Is that a necessary part of this combo? It doesn't look like it. I like it anyway. Overall, cool combo. King Ginger. Tameshi. With Patron of the Moon. Is that part of the moon cycle? And, oh, sorry, Magus cycle, I was thinking. Lotus Bloom. How do all these work together? Okay, Lotus Bloom is the fixed black lotus with suspend. Suspend 3, but it comes but when it enters the battlefield, it's a black lotus. Patron of the Moon, 7 mana for a 5/4 spirit. Moon Folk Offering, an ability I've never heard of. You may play this card at any time. You could play an instant by sacrificing a Moon Folk and paying the difference in mana cost between this and the sacrifice Moon Folk. Mana cost includes color. It's like a crappier version of Champion of Fairy, like a much crappier version. Okay, anyway, it's got flying, pay 1, put up to 2 land cards from your hand into play tap. That's not bad. Okay, but then how does this combo with this? Tameshi, Reality Architect. 3 mana for a 2/3 whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to hand. Draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned back to hand. I don't think this has anything to do with the card that we just put in. White X, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Return target artifact or enchantment card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh! So we crack this for white, and we can activate this ability. So we return the Lotus Bloom back to the battlefield because it costs nothing. So you basically net 2 mana. And that's it. Hold on, did you get anything else? So you get infinite colored mana. Yes, infinite landfall triggers. That's also true. And return all artifacts and enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, with your infinite mana. It's like a really crappy replenish. But it still works. All right, cool. Very unique combo. The ring makes the creature... Oh, was that necessary for that last combo? The creature is now legendary. Legendary it is. We got Dick. Dick hasn't been around here for a while. Venerated Rot Priest. We got Marches. March of the Burgeoning and March of Swirling Mist. It's March of Burgeoning. And March of the Swirl. Okay, what's this first card all about? Okay, we got Venerated Rot Priest. It's for a green. It's a 1/2, toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get a poison counter. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. So just target it with anything, and boom! Poison! It's like a somewhat more dangerous version of Infect. March of the Burgeoning Life, X, green and an X. Instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of green cards from your hand. Spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Choose target creature with mana value less than X. Search your library for a creature card with the same name as that creature. Put onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. That's interesting. So you get extra copies of the Venerated Rot Priest, so you get extra triggers. And then what, you want to march a swirling mist them all? As initial cost to cast the spell, whatever. Okay, up to X target creatures phase out. I don't, like, but you need a lot of them in play, right? How do you... I honestly don't see the combo. Like, you're not going to get 10 poison automatically just even from this. Like, you need, like, many marches, get all the Rot Priests on the battlefield, and then what's it called? And then you march, you can target them all, but they're all going to come back. Like, you do get triggers, but I don't see the full 10 anyway. That's just what I'm saying. I don't see the full 10 poison. Okay, next super chat we got from Tyler. Furnace of Wrath. And Phyrexian Vindicator. And a shock style on them with something classic. The Shock. An oldie but a goldie. Just a single red. Okay, so let's start off with Furnace of Wrath. Red, 1 generic enchantment. If a source would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals double the damage instead. Then we have Phyrexian Vindicator. Oh, isn't this like the Obliterator, but for white? Flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any target. So basically, you want to deal damage to the Vindicator and deal damage to something else. You're Searing Blazing your... What's the point? So you can deal... So your shocks deal 4 damage. Is what you're telling me. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent the damage. You know what you could just use is Hurricane. Do you know what a Hurricane is? It's a green and X. And it deals like X damage to each player and all flying creatures. It would just prevent all the damage to the Vindicator, and then you would just blast your opponent for that much damage. You'd probably kill someone with a Hurricane. Anyway, that is a bad combo that actually works. Although you do need the Furnace of Wrath to double the damage. Okay, what lucky... What is this? This looks simple. Hornet's Nest. And the Shivan Meteor. I didn't know there was a Shivan Meteor. What is this, coming from an alternate dimension? This is like, reminds me of Portal or something. Okay, we have red, 3 generic sorcery. Shivan Meteor deals 13 damage to a target creature. It's gonna be like that. I swatted this fly today so hard, it exploded in a million pieces. I mean, that's exactly what the Shivan Meteor is gonna do here. Suspend 2 for 3 mana. That's okay. It doesn't matter. So 13 damage to our Hornet's Nest. Those Hornets are gonna be pissed. And whenever Hornet's Nest is dealt that much damage, create that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. No one's going to attack into you. Nobody. Nobody. No one would be dare to attack into 13 1/1 death touch creatures. Never going to happen. Abzo. Muldrotha. Lotus Petal. This sounds like a good combo. Hold on. Okay, Lotus Petal. I am today years old to find out that this is restricted in Vintage. I don't blame them. That's a pretty busted card. It's funny. It's completely legal in Pauper, completely legal in Legacy, restricted in Vintage. Very strong card. And we want Displacer Kitten. I have a feeling anything with Displacer Kitten is broken. You people are, this should be part of only good combos. Okay, what does Muldrotha do? I don't even know what this card does. I've read it like 20 times now because you people love this card, but I still don't know. Okay, we have, For Sultai 3 generic, we have a 6/6 elemental avatar. During each of your turns, you may play a land card and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. So you're gonna cast Lotus Petal. And then what? I don't know what the combo is here. What are you trying to do? Is there something I don't know here? So you get, what? Is there like a way to get infinite triggers? During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. So you get infinite, okay, I get it. You get infinite Lotus Petals, you get infinite, not infinite, you get 1 Lotus Petal and 1 Blink a turn. Does someone know? So each time you cast Petal, Blink, Muldrotha, then you can cast Petal from grave again. Ah, you have infinite Storm. You're trying to storm us out here, aren't you? Brain freeze, perhaps, for victory? Or actually, infinite ETBs as well. Cool stuff. Lion Tamer. Rings of Brightheart. Basalt Monolith. Energy Refractor. Infinite colored mana. You don't say. Okay, so the 3 rings for the Elven Kings. It's just Rings of Bright Earth. Okay, 3 mana artifact. Whenever you activate an ability, if it is in a mana ability, you can pay 2. If you do, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. What are we copying? We're gonna copy. We can't copy this, but maybe we can copy the untap. So we can copy the untap. I guess we will net mana, but we need 5 mana available right now anyway. So you can double untap, get infinite colorless mana. Energy Refractor. Whenever when it comes to the battlefield, you draw a card and you can pay to add 1 mana of any color. So we get infinite mana with the Basalt Monolith, and we can turn it into any color that we want. Anyone getting a Pink Floyd vibes from this image? Nikachu suddenly becoming a Yu-Gi-Oh player with a hard once per turn. Once per turn! No, that's not how it works around here. All right, Tyler, being generous. Donate this one to the group. Thank you so much, Tyler Bremner. Let's give it to Old Boy. Decree of Silence. Dance of the Manse. How the hell is this going to be a fair combo? And Assault Suit. It's a card I've never heard of. Okay, let's just start here. Opponent plays a spell, counter it, and put a depletion counter on Decree of Silence. There are 3 or more counters on this thing. We gotta sack it. We can cycle it also for 6 mana. We cycle it, we counter spells. So Dance of the Man says return up to X target artifacts and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. What, we're gonna bring this back? If X is 6 or more, which this is, those perms are 4/4 creatures. You're going to turn your Decree of Silence into a creature. And then we got Assault Suit. Equipped creature has +2/+2, has haste, can't attack you or planeswalkers you control, and can't be sacrificed. Whoa! So we're never going to sacrifice the creature. You have infinite it's like we created an Arrayo. A really dangerous Arrayo. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of equipped creature until end of turn. If you do, untap. No, it's going to be ours. Interesting. So we Dance of the Manse, the Decree of Silence. Can never be sacrificed no matter what. Hold on, do we lock the game? Hold on. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, counter it. If there are 3 or more... No, we don't lock. I was just wondering if it's going to perpetually check to try to sacrifice and try not to. But I don't think it's going to work like that. That's a bad that's right. That's what we do around on this show. It's all bad combos. No, it's mana value. Well, its mana value is this thing is 8. If X is 6 or more, that's totally fine. It all works. Yeah, no combo is well. Some combos like do almost nothing. Some of them. Okay, Matt. High Priest of Penance. Man, I love you guys that give me 2-card combos. Right, looking up 10 cards is sometimes a bit tedious. Okay, Arcane Teachings. Okay, so High Priest of Penance is a Orzhov 1/1. Whenever it's dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. And usually whenever it's dealt damage, that's it. It's dead too. But Arcane Teachings for 3 mana, an aura. Enchant the creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has... That's amazing, actually. Tap this creature deals 1 damage to our creature or player, which can include itself. I love this combo. It is so unusual. So you buff up the creature simultaneously while being able to damage itself and keep it alive. Man, that's a good one. And then you have Vindicate. Vindicate every single turn. That's a great combo. It's got my seal of approval. Toilet Duck, trying hard to get here. Okay, Hatred. Near-death experience. Equals just before your upkeep, pay life to Hatred. Yeah, I swear we had this actual discussion in another stream. Just before your upkeep, pay life for Hatred to reduce your life total 1 for the win condition of near. Hold on, is that going to work? At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 1 life? I don't think that's going to work. I think the upkeep's going to happen and you have no priority. It's going to check him. Hold on, does this check at every upkeep? Like, does the trigger go on the stack every single upkeep? And then when it resolves, it checks to see if you have 1 life left? Because Hatred is just this 5 mana card, pay X life, target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Like, the way I would look at this, like, maybe it is, like, at the beginning, I would just think it triggers only if you have 1 life, but maybe it actually triggers every single upkeep, and that's that. And then when it resolves, it just checks to see if you have 1 life, you win. You don't have 1 life, it does nothing. Otherwise, you Hatred at end of turn, and I think that should be good enough. Because, I mean, if they can kill you with Hatred on the stack, it's the same thing, right? Can you cast your stuff during untap step? You cannot, actually. You cannot cast spells, activate abilities, or do anything at your untap step. And if anything actually triggers during your untap step, it waits until the beginning of your upkeep to go on the stack. As bizarre as that sounds. Clearly says your. At the beginning of your upkeep. No, but my question is if it triggers. Does it trigger if my life total is 2? I think it's at the beginning of your upkeep, if you're exactly 1 life, you win the game. Like, that's it. That's the only question I have. Anyway. Yeah, you can still do it on end step. I just don't know if it's legal to do at upkeep. The only way it would work is if near-death experience will trigger no matter what. It triggers every upkeep. All right, maybe we have a gatherer thing here. This ability has an intervening if clause. That means the ability triggers only if you have 1 life as your upkeep begins. And the ability does nothing if the life total is anything other than 1. Okay, Gatherer has spoken. That you have to cast your Hatred at end of turn. You cannot do it in response to the trigger at your upkeep because you never will have that opportunity. Boom. Christopher B is right. You have to have 1 life. That's how it works around here, baby. That's how magic works. Some things work or don't work for no damn reason at all. Just Gatherer said so. It makes total sense that it would trigger. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to King. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do this one? Yeah, we did that. That was a great combo. Okay, King Ginger. What do you got for us? Immodane plus Zada. Well, which Immodane? I guess this one, the legendary one. Zada. Dictate. There's 2 Zadas, damn it! This better be it. I don't know. Dictate of the Twin Gods. There's only 1 version of that. You gotta be specific, King Ginger. I'm gonna be lost here. I'm gonna be lost. Okay, do we have the right Immodane? Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature, Immodane deals that much damage to each opponent. When I deal damage to my creatures, we deal damage to everyone else. Zada, Hedron Grinder. Grinding just like we grind online. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Zada, copy that spell for each other. Oh, God. For each other creature you control that the spell could target. So we double the copies. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. Dictate of the Twin Gods. Flash of a sorcerer would deal damage to a permanent or player deals double that damage. So, I mean, it's indeterminable how much damage you're actually going to do. So what you're saying is we're going to deal damage to creatures. We're going to double that damage. And we're going to have a second copy for everything that actually copied those creatures. Okay, interesting. My friend Rodney Top 8 Thompson would love this thing. 18 Zeke. Zergo Hell Smasher, also with Assault Suit. It's the second combo we're going to see Assault Suit on the same day. Zergo wants to smash with everyone. It's Slicer, but with extra steps. It's totally fine. Oh no, this is the different suit. Okay, this is the +2/+2 haste. Can't be sacked. Can give it to somebody else. Zergo Hell Smasher. 5 mana is a 7/2 with haste. Attacks each combat of Fable. Has indestructible as long as it's your turn. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Zergo Hell Smasher dies this turn, put a counter on Hell. So what does this do? So you give it to everybody? Oh, but it can't attack you, right? Can't attack you or planes because you still control the equipment. Neat card. All right. You hand it off to everybody and let them attack everybody else. Everyone gets a little turn with the Helm Smasher. Okay, let's look at Justin. Mishra Artificer or Prodigy. Oh no, it's not Artifice or Prodigy. It is the Artificer Prodigy. Possibility Storm. What is this? Chaos? Chaos ensues! What does Mishra do again? Whenever you play an artifact spell, you may search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card with the same name as that spell and put it into play. I can search my hand? Well, that's going to be difficult to do. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. So we can put 2 of the same card onto the battlefield. Possibility Storm says whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, the player exiles it, then exiles cards on the top of their library until he or she exiles a card that shares the card type with it. That player may cast the card without paying its mana cost. Then he or she puts all cards exiled with Possibility Storm on the bottom of the library in a random order. What the hell does this do? I have no idea. Okay, this combo broke my brain. Literally. Anyone can help me here? So we're going to cast a card that has the same name. Does this cast? Or just puts it into play? Same name and put it... Okay, so I can actually cast a card and actually get the card in play. But then Possibility Storm will trigger and put another random card onto the battlefield. As far as I understand it. But I do get the same card that I want, at least through Mishra. So... it's like weird. The combo is I'm going to get the... but not in Commander. That has to be on a one-on-one format. 3 artifacts instead of 2? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Or if it... I mean, it works! It works. I just don't know exactly what the combo is. It seems like the combo is get your spell, the spell that you want to play, you're going to get it played, and then get another random thing onto the battlefield. You get a free artifact because Mishra will find it at the bottom. Is that right? Whenever you play an artifact spell, you may search your hand. Oh, oh, wait a minute. This does work in Commander. Okay, so you cast the card. Possibility Storm triggers. You can put it on the stack. So you cast the card, you put it on the bottom of your library, but then you search your library for that card and put it directly onto... okay. Okay, neat. That required some explanation, but the explanation checks out. I like it. Samurott, Cackling Counterpart, and Wayfaring Temple. We have let's look at Cackling Counterparts. Blue, 1 generic instant. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. And also has flashback. You like tokens, huh? Wayfaring Temple, 3 mana, star. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you populate. Are you literally just like, you make a token and then after you attack with Wayfaring Temple, you just make a copy? That's it? That is a very boring combo. Do I have a yawning sound effect here? It's a very, very boring combo that actually works. I think that's what it is, right? Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you populate. So, yeah, you make a token and you just make more tokens of the tokens that you have. Good enough. Okay, Alpha Nerd. You want to get a piece of the action. Extravagant Replication. Forced Fruition. That's a powerful card. And then Howling Mine. What, we don't have enough cards? We need Howling Mine too? After 2 turns, most people might draw out their entire deck. 3, maybe 4 turns in Commander. Okay, Extravagant Replication, 6 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. So you're going to copy the Forced Fruition. And Force Fruition is a 6-mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, the player draws 7 cards. But, you know, you don't have to play anything. Like, what if one person's just playing with a bunch of creature lands in their deck? That might be the only way they can win. And then Howling Mind, you're going to draw cards. You draw them, damn it. Beginning of each player's draw step, if it's untapped, the player draws an additional card. This seems unnecessary. It looks like this combo is just good enough between these two. And you keep copying Forced Fruition. I don't know how to make your opponents force them to cast spells, though. But it'll be glorious. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, draw 7 cards. If you have enough of them on the battlefield, they're going to just draw their entire deck. And then you go, it's GG. That's going to be GG. Alright, you heard the music. And we're going to look at way more bad combos that actually work, but we got to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. You heard of Lost Caverns of Ixalan? It's Ixalan Take 2. They're bringing the dinosaurs, the pirates, the vampires, the merfolk back. All the ones that we love. You love Cavern of Souls. They're reprinting Cavern of Souls. If you want to pre-order your cards from Caverns of Ixalan, make sure you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online, because a whole bunch of new archetypes are probably going to be built in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern when the Lost Caverns of Ixalan gets released. And you're going to want to know what's the best deck to play, or play it without buying into it yet when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_XQJ. Alright, back to the bad combos that actually work. Did we do a Blackbird today? Scoot Swarm. Oh, come on! This is 5 cards! I should ban those cards. Carther's Crusade. Please tell me what this damn thing does. Dusk Shell Crawler. Groundskeeper. And Vine Soul Spider. This is wild. Buff Scoot Swarm with Trample while guarantee lands, not infinite, but a con. This is 5 cards, and we don't even go infinite. And you're playing Alchemy. Man, you're probably making the Alchemy players really upset. Landfall, put a 1/1 creature into play. If you got 6 or more lands, create another Scoot Swarm instead. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a counter on each creature you control. So, like, as you play lands and Scoot Swarms, you get counters on everything. Then Dusk Shell Crawler says when it enters the battlefield, put a counter on on target creature. Each creature you control with a counter on it has trample. This is probably redundant. Groundskeeper, return target basic land card from your graveyard to your hand. So effectively a lot of landfall triggers. I don't even know if it's infinite. And then Vine Soul Spider, at the beginning of your end step, put a random land card from your library into your graveyard. I don't know, this looks very unnecessary. Do they have fetch lands online? I guess maybe not, so you can't, like, Groundskeeper use that over and over again. If Alchemy players actually knew how their cards worked, they would be upset. Maybe. So, like, 5 cards, you have a lot of big creatures on the battlefield. That's what it represents. But don't worry, it is bad combos that actually works, that's for sure. Do bulkies? Oh, what's bulkies? Bulky, where are you? Okay, Djinn Illuminatus. A lot of people stand up for you, Bulky. You got good ideas around here. Mass Hysteria and Pact of the Titan. Okay, how does this work? Okay, Djinn Illuminatus, 7 mana, 3/5 flyer. Each instant sorcery spell you cast has replicate. The replicate cost is equal to its mana cost. So when you cast it, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. You can choose new targets. Mass Hysteria. All creatures have haste. Pact of the Titan. So you can replicate this for 0. Make infinite 4/4 creatures. That's cheap. 0 mana. At the beginning of your next upkeep, pay 5. If you don't, you lose the game. But you're going to kill them this turn because they put infinite creature. Wow. The only problem is getting the Djinn Illuminatus onto the battlefield, but if you got that going, you're good. Okay, next super chat, we've got Steve Cooper, Rakdos, Lord of Riots. Like the Rakdos. Intruder Alarm. I appreciate you actually separating these cards by these dashes. Or these forward slashes instead of commas. Commas confuse me. Intruder Alarm. Impact Tremors. Krenko. Mob Boss. Cast everything for nothing. Burn everyone to death. Been brewing Grixis recently. Love your Grixis. You love your Krenko as well. Okay, so it starts off with Rakdos, Lord of Riots. 4 mana for a 6/6. You can't cast Rakdos unless an opponent lost life this turn. Flying Trample. Creature spells you cast. Cost 1 less to cast for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. Make things a little bit cheaper. Intruder Alarm. Creatures don't untap. However, whenever a creature comes into play, untap all the creatures. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent, which then means... Hold on, was it you or someone else? Okay, so, which means, you activate Lord of Riots, and then... Actually, I don't understand this part, so... Oh, okay, this part, I don't understand the this Rakdos Lord of Riots part. This seems completely redundant. You can just have Intruder Alarm, Impact Tremors, and Krenko, because you activate Krenko, you get a 1/1, which will trigger the Impact Tremors, right? But also triggers Intruder Alarm, which untaps your Krenko. So, Rakdos Lord of Riots looks completely redundant. Like, that card... I don't even know why you have this card. Make your Krenko cost a little less, but you already have 4 mana, right? What do you need the Rakdos for? Am I missing something? Like, I think you can just combo with Krenko, Impact Tremors, and the Intruder Alarm. I don't know, if someone sees something that I don't, you can always let me know in the combo section. Emile! I got a very, very nice combo. Okay, let's hear it. Cole, Fenor, the last U, whatever the hell that is. U is a tree or something. Okay, Pawn of Ulamog. I always misunderstand this card. Any X creature without additional cost, preferably. Let's go with Walking Ballista then. Pay for X 0 a bunch. You got it. Okay, so Colfinor, the last U. Vigilance reach 3/7. Whenever the last U or another creature you control dies, return up to 1 other target creature card with lesser toughness from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever it dies, return up to 1 target creature. So it has 0. So our Walking Ballista is 0 toughness, so I'm guessing we're bringing back constantly. We just cast it for 0, it dies, and keep bringing it back. Then we got Pawn of Ulamog. Whenever Pawn of Ulamog or another non-token creature you control dies, you may create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn token. So you have infinite creatures, and all these creatures can be sacked for mana. That's infinite mana. That's a bad combo that actually works. You! Soldier Boy, tell him I have no idea. These are references I do not get. Okay, now it's time for a super chat donation. Your regular donation is $5, but for the chat, it's $2. That's all good. Okay, let's donate this one to... Need 2 ballistas? Does it? It'll die instantly. Like, it'll go directly to the graveyard, and then this will trigger. Whenever a creature you control dies, return up to one other target creature card with lesser toughness. Oh, does it require 2? Maybe it's... Oh, I thought it... You know what? When I read one other, I thought, like, other than Colfiner. But yeah, I think it's one other than itself. So that's fine. You have just 2 0-mana cards. It could be anything. That's totally fine. Okay, let's donate the super chat to Jess. Hermetic Study and Horseshoe Crab. Okay, for 3 mana, we have a 1/3. For a blue, we can untap our Horseshoe Crab. Hermetic Study, enchanted creature has a tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So what, for all the blue mana we have, we can just deal damage to people because we just pay a blue, untap, ping. Pay a blue, untap, ping. I guess that's a combo. Mr. Deadhead is like, I love this combo! This is the best of all the combos. It's a sad combo. Okay, overly critical anime, Soul Scar Mage. Wow, this is actually part of a combo. Nest of Scarabs. And Blasphemous Act. So we're going to start off with our Soul Scar Mage. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a creature an opponent controls, you put -1/-1 counters on it instead. The Nest of Scarabs is an enchantment that says whenever you put one or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, create that many 1/1 black insect creature tokens. Interesting. And then Blasphemous Act says, okay, so we're going to make everything get -X/-X because it gets dealt damage. So you're going to deal -13, -13. And then whenever you put a 1 or more, I guess it all comes into play as individual counters. So it's going to be 13 for, you're going to get 13 1/1s for each creature, if I understand that correctly. That's nuts. Everyone loves the horseshoe crab. Who doesn't like horseshoe crabs? My mother actually also loves horseshoe crabs. She likes finding them on the beach and then turning them into an ornament. I'm actually pretty annoyed for how cheap it is. Yeah, what is this? 3 mana for the enchantment, 1 mana for the Soul Scar Mage, 0 mana probably for the Blasphemous Act. Blow up everything, have a million 1/1 creatures. Nice combo. Very nice. Very nice. Roberts with Cryptolith Right. Crypto? Is it on the blockchain? Another horseshoe crab. It's a horseshoe crab day, and then Wake Thrasher. Okay, I know that card. What does it have to do with these cards? Okay, Cryptolith Right, 2 mana. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So we can have infinite, I guess we could infinitely tap. Hold on, we can, yeah, this thing can tap for a blue. We can pay a blue to untap it. What purpose does, oh! And then Wake Thrasher is whenever a permanent you control becomes untapped, Wake Thrasher gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So you have infinite power to the Wake Thrasher. So you tap and untap Horseshoe Crab for 1 billion times, and you attack for 1 billion. And then your opponent, they dead. It's over. It's victory. I need some more victory sound effects around here. I use all my victory sound effects are super chat sound effects. I don't have anything else. Cool combo. Yeah, Horseshoe Crab, fam, rejoice. Now we just need to find a bad combo with Horseshoe Crab and Assault Suit. Oh, good God. You can fit so many combos. Yeah, you can fit so many. Yeah, slaps hand on Horseshoe Crab. This baby can fit so many combos. Okay, let's look at Lord Jerixus. Fiflith. Is that a card? Are you saying Philip? I think it's Philip. I don't know how to spell its name though. How do I spell this stupid non-voweled creature's name? Philip the something. Philip the. Somebody help me here. It's not even something I can find very well on Google. Oh, is it just literally filth? Oh, okay. I thought there was the blue card. Okay, filth. Let's start off with filth. Uh-oh, I lost your thing. Literal filth. Okay, I found you again. Urborg. What, the OG? Is the OG Urborg or like Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth? Because there is an Urborg in this game, right? Urborg, like here it is. This is yeah, this is Urborg. And then Entomb. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking up, but I'm sure that's not actually the card. Okay, what does Filth do? 4 mana, 2/2 Swamp Walk. As long as Filth is in your graveyard, you control a swamp. Creatures you control have Swamp Walk. And then we've got we have Urborg in. Okay, I'm just gonna. Actually, this doesn't help either. Okay, we're going back to this one. For a black, target creature loses first strike or Swamp Walk, so you can add a black. I think it meant the original Urborg. And what was the last card? I screwed up. No, I lost this card. Where did you go? It's a good thing we have great music to listen to. Damn it, whose combo was I doing here? Can't find it. The Tomb? Yeah, okay, the other Urborg. Let's look up the other Urborg. What was the third card to this combo? Okay, Filth, Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. And then, oh yeah, then it was Entomb. Tomb was the last card. Okay, what do you do? Okay, search your library for a card, put the card into your graveyard, and then what, Filth? As long as it's in your graveyard, you control Swamp, and then Urborg. Technically, you didn't even need Urborg. You could, wow, this Urborg's beautiful. This came from Tales of Middle-earth. This is great. This is way better than the original Urborg. I like this. Each land is a swamp in addition to its other land types. All dead or rotten, elves and men and orcs. There was a great battle here long ago, yes. Yes, it was. You should do Toad's suggestion. All right, so hon, this is such a weak combo. So we just, is a way of giving Swamp Walk. Oh, I get it, but you have Urborg and everyone else has a Swamp. I like this combo. As a Merfolk player who has Island Walk all the time, I wish I had this combo for myself. Cool combo. You know what, that is a cool combo. I like it. Okay, based on this suggestion from the community, we should do Toad's card. Okay, Midnight Guard. Presence of God. You're not even separating these things with commas. You're just lucky I know what some of these cards are. And then Ornithopter. Thank God these don't even require brain power to understand. Retraction Helix. Didn't your English teacher teach you the comma? Okay, put everything on guard, tap, return Thopter, make creatures untap, play Thopter, repeat. So Retraction Helix, I know this one. It's a blue instant. Until end of turn, return. So target creature gains, tap, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So how do we... we are going off with Midnight Guard. Enters the battlefield. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, untap Midnight Guard, and you combo with Presence of God. So this is basically a combo by itself. You tap. So you put this on the Midnight Guard. You tap it, get a 1/1 green creature. Untap the Midnight Guard, get infinite creatures. So I don't understand what the Ornithopter is for, though. So Ornithopter, Retraction Helix. So I can... tap guard. We put Helix, I guess, on guard. Return Thopter, make creatures, untap. Play Thopter, repeat. That seems like a really convoluted version of just like Presence of God and Midnight Guard just do that, right? And so what do you want a Retraction Helix until end of turn? Target creature gains return target non-land permanent. So you want to Retraction Helix your Midnight Guard to tap, return your Ornithopter to your hand, replay Ornithopter, untap Midnight Guard. I should make a... This is like for an alternate show. Combos that are more convoluted than the actual combo. Helix returns Thopter, play Thopter infinite creatures. We have infinite creatures here. This makes infinite creatures. It does make Storm. But we have infinite ETBs. We got that. We just don't have infinite cast. So you can storm off with... this combo because you're actually casting an Ornithopter, but this will make infinite creatures. Tap, put a 1/1 green elf warrior in play, untap your Midnight Guard, tap it again, put a 1/1 creature in play, untap Midnight Guard. That's infinite. Oh, you forgot like the 6th card of your combo for Altar of the Brood. When you give me your combo, you gotta give me all the cards. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent puts the top card of his or her library into the graveyard. Okay, so you're milling them out. Okay, I get it. Moving on. I'm gonna pay attention more. I don't know if I can trust chat when they give recommendations to other people, especially when it's to themselves around here. All right, we're gonna look at Prime Jaders with the Putrid Goblin. Very putrid indeed. We have Thran. Is it Vigil? I have no idea. And then Altar Is it A? No, it's alter. It's AR of dementia. See? Not ER. But I've fallen down the same trap myself. Okay, we got 2 mana 2/2 with persist. It is a goblin though. I don't know why you chose this one as your persist creature, but maybe it's a goblin deck. The Thran Vigil. Maybe it's very vigilant. 2 mana enchantment. Whenever one or more artifacts and/or creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Interesting. Okay, so when it dies, you actually, it's supposed to have it come into play, back into play with a -1/-1 counter, but then Thran Vigil will give it a +1/+1 counter, cancel them out, and it's just back to normal. And you have Alter of Dementia. Sack your goblin. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacked creature's power from the top of their library into their graveyard. Infinite sacks, and you mill them to death. See, milling people out is possible. It just has to be infinite mill, that's all. The infinite mill combo. Bernie Boy. Hall of Heliod. Heliod's generosity, apparently. Hall of Heliod's generosity, yeah. And then second chance. How does this work? This is a combo? Okay, second chance is a 3-mana enchantment. During your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, sack second chance and take an extra turn after this one. Oh, that is sweet, actually. Interesting. It's only two cards, but once you get them online, it's over. So you take, you get your extra turn with second chance, and you will repeatedly every turn put this thing back on top of your library every single turn. But you don't technically draw any more cards. You would get infinite turns. So you get infinite turns, but whatever your board is, and whatever cards are in your hand, that's it. Because you have to continuously draw this as your card for the turn. And then you have to constantly, during your upkeep... Oh, hold on, how does this work? Okay, during your upkeep, 5 or less life, you sack it, and then you can put it back on top of your library, draw it, recast it. Yeah, that would work, but you don't draw any more cards. You need something, whatever your board stated is, it is. But it's a cool combo. I like it. You can't bounce it. That's impossible. You have to sack it. You can't sack it and during upkeep, you 5 or less life, sacrifice it. Does it require being sacked? It is not optional. Whatever the hell that means. Ability will only trigger if you have 5 or less life. It is checked again at the start of resolution, and nothing happens if you do not still. Multiple turn effects resolve at the same time. On resolution of the trigger, you have to sacrifice this card if you have 5 or less life. If you can't, because it's not on the battlefield, because you bounced it, then you still... Oh, then you still take an extra turn after this one. Okay, you can bounce it. All right. Story checks out. I thought that Oracle ruling was going to say otherwise. It did not. Tyler with Yenna. Red Tooth. Regent. How far are we into this? Oh god, I just have to get through the super chat, so it's gonna be for forever. Okay. Fists of Ironwood. I got scammed to do a bunch of free super chats. And then Ashnod's Altar again. What's a combo? Oh, and then we have Concordant Crossroads. What's a combo without Ashnod's Altar? Oops. I'm going no, apparently. Well, how did that happen? Where did that come out of nowhere? Concordant Crossroads. Nobody saw anything. That didn't happen. Okay. We start off with Yenna. Oh god, I have so many super chats to get through. Okay, we start off with Yenna. 4 mana, 4/4 Elf Noble, pay 2, tap. Choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Is it we have an explanation for this combo? You gave me nothing. Okay, choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another target permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's legendary. If it's an aura, untap it, then scry 2, activate only as a sorcery. So we double our enchantments. Fists of Ironwood, 2 mana aura. So this is going to be an aura, which means we get to untap Yenna and also scry 2. Enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Enchanted creature has trample. Okay, so we're going to enchant Yenna, make a copy of the Fists of Ironwood to make creatures. We sack the creatures to pay for Yenna's ability over and over again, because we get when we copy the aura, we constantly untap Yenna, so we get infinite creatures, infinite mana. In Coordinate Crossroads says all creatures have haste, so the infinite creatures, we can kill our opponent immediately. That is a very convoluted combo that works. So, yeah, suddenly large donkey for all those that actually watch the show and not listen. King Ginger. Last one, the Brash Taunter. And okay, let's look at Brash Taunter first. And the Blazing Sunsteel. Blazing Sunsteel, 2 mana equipment. The creature gets +1/+0 for each opponent you have. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, deals that much damage to any target. And Brash Taunter says whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent, and you can fight another target creature. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, deals that much damage to any target. Oh, you can target itself. So you can put like infinite damage onto it because it's indestructible. Aha, interesting. That's clean. That is just actually a clean combo. So you deal damage to the Brash Taunter and you will perpetually keep dealing damage with the same trick. That is weird, but it works. You can always count on Ginger to prolong the show. Well, it's not just King Ginger, it's also Platonic Liquid. Okay, we have Satoru Umezawa. Oops. Umezawa. Ruthless. Technomancer. And Umbrus. Get an attack in, flicker Technomancer infinitely with ninjutsu, targeting Umbrus with both abilities. That sounds complicated. Okay, Satoru Umezawa, 3 mana, 2/4. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You got like some sort of ponder going on over here. This ability triggers only once each turn. Each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu of 4 mana. Ruthless Technomancer. So what we're doing here is flicker Technomancer infinitely with ninjutsu. Well, how do we do that? When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, sacrifice another creature you control. If you do, create a number of treasure tokens equal to that creature's power. Not sure who we're sacrificing here. 3 mana, sack X artifacts. Return target creature card with power X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. X can't be 0. And the last card is Umbrus Fear Manifest. 5 mana for a 1/1 Nightmare Horror. Gets +1/+1 for each card in your opponent's... So each card your opponents own in exile. Whenever Umbrus or another Nightmare of Horror enters the battlefield under your control, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a card. How the hell does this happen? I don't get it. Treat the Technomancer as a ninja. Okay, Technomancer is ninja. We ninjutsu Technomancer in play. So it's tapped and attacking. When it enters the battlefield, I can sack another creature I control. If I do, create a number of treasure tokens equal to that creature's power. Yeah, confused raccoon noises. I also am quite confused at if this combo works at all. Okay, I need more help. Okay, so I need more steps. This reminds me of like some sort of math problem, and like they my math teacher gives me the answer, but I'm like, I need it broken down. We need to go broken even further, because I really have no idea what's going on here. Okay, tons of treasure by sacking Umbrus. Okay, we sack Umbrus. Equal to the creature's power. But we don't even get a lot of power. It's a 1/1. It's +1/+1 for each... I guess if your opponents have a lot of stuff in exile. So you literally get a 1/1. If you do create a... And how do we even blink everything? Oh, the idea is if we... Sack X treasures. So you're saying we can, like, ninjutsu infinite times? Here's a battlefield. You may sacrifice another creature you control. Like, once you sack it, it's gone. I have an Umbrus deck. It's insane. Okay, you sack Satoru, bring him back? Can we bring him back? Okay, first you need to find the slope, then exactly, then you need a point to determine the intercept, exactly. Okay, I just don't understand how you get infinite treasures. Okay, hold on, so we pay 3, sack X artifacts, return target creature card with power X. Oh wait, maybe this is, okay, XOS. But your opponent needs a few things in exile, right? Or at least one thing in exile? Because otherwise we get 1 treasure token. We don't get that many treasures. You still have to pay 3 mana here. Okay, target Umbrus with both abilities. What the hell is going on here? This is, if Sally has 4 apples, Mike has 2. Calculate the mass of the sun. Yeah. I don't know. Am I not the only one completely lost here? Umbrus exiles on ETB. Oh, okay, hold on. Whenever Umbrus or another nightmare enters the battlefield under your control, target opponent exiles cards. Okay, so it enters the battlefield, exiles cards on top of their library until they exile. Okay, so they're certainly going to have something exile. Okay, do you know what? Okay, I get it. So as you keep bringing this thing back, we have infinite treasures, and we can keep sacrificing... Or we can keep, then we can sacrifice some of the treasures and bring Umbrus back infinite times. Okay, I got it. You know, this is like a combo. You sort of have to see it to understand it. You know, there are some combos like, yeah, you can read and you get it. But this requires, like, I have to see, yeah, I got to see the cards get exiled from my opponent. I got to see you make all them treasures. I got to see you pay the treasures, sack the treasures, bring the Umbrus back, bring this thing back and forth with the what's it called? Ninjutsu. A lot of moving stuff. That does work, though. Alright, what do we got next? We got Alpha Nerd. The Lightning Crafter. And Thorn Bite Staff. It can sweep! Whatever that means. Okay, 2 mana, tribal artifact, shaman equipment. Equipped creature has pay 2, tap. This creature deals 1 damage to our creature or player with another pinger. All the most popular combos are all pinging combos. And whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, untap this creature. So you kill something, it untaps. Whenever a shaman creature comes into play, you may attach Thornbite Staff to it. So what do we have? We do have a shaman. It's a 4 mana 3/3 that champions a goblin or a shaman. Tap. Lightning Crafter deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Whenever a shaman creature comes into play, whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, untap this creature. So maybe the pinging won't get it done, but the 3 damage will. Does it affect that? This creature deals 1 damage. And when a creature is put into a graveyard from play, okay, so it doesn't care. So if anything dies, you untap. So you can like basically bolt everything with the Lightning Crafter. All right, cool stuff. That checks out with me. I could even figure it out all on my own. Tommy's like, when you make combos so convoluted, Nikachu has to take 10 minutes longer in the stream. It's happened many times. The show just stretches on because I'm like, I'm sure this works, but I don't know how. How does it? Is it a Pawn of Ulamog thing? Okay, next up, we got Pyro Bob. Obviously loves the combo shows. Lawrence of the Healing House. Oh, it's Iorn. Sorry, it looked like an L. We have Kelpie Guide. Birthday Escape. Make Kelpie your ring bearer. Another ring bearer card. And Asika, God of the Tree. Infinite mana. Alright. Okay, let's start off with Lawrence of the Healing House. 3 mana, 1/4. Tap. Untap another target permanent. Tap. Untap 2 other legendary permanents. I like this card. I didn't know this card even existed. I like it. This is... Oh, it's a Lord of the Rings card. It's a new one. 3 mana for a 2. Kelpie Guide is a 3 mana 2/2. Untap another target permanent you control. I guess you can untap your Iorith. And tap target permanent. Activate only if you control 8 or more lands. Birthday Escape. This is really a Lord of the Rings combo here. Blue sorcery. Draw a card. The ring tempts you. Ooh. And then it tempts you, and you put it on, I guess. What do you? Why is the point of the ring tempting you? It's to put it on the Kelpie guide, so it's legendary. Asika, God of the Tree. 3 mana for a 1/4 god, Vigilance. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Other legendary creatures you control have Vigilance and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Yes, so you can untap 2 other legendary creatures and then use Kelpie to keep untapping your Iorith, and Asika will continuously draw, like give you extra mana. You mean I and I? I know it looks online sometimes I's and L's, they all look the same, damn it. Bactard! Crucible Worlds. With Walk the Eons. And Azusa. Lost but see. These are like a lot of good cards, but I don't know what the Walk the Eons does for us here. Hold on, Lost but not seeking? Huh? Is there a, is that Azusa lost but not? No, that doesn't exist. Are you kidding me here? That sounded Azusa lost but not seeking sounds like some sort of unglued card. Okay, what does this do? Crucible Worlds. You may play land cards from your graveyard. It's the same thing with Azusa. But you can put 2 lands from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Then Walk the Eons is a 4 mana. Buy back, sack 3 islands. That's no problem. We're going to put them back onto the battlefield. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. That player is going to be you. And I guess you get, at this point, you put 2 lands back. Next turn, you put 2 lands. Yeah, you get infinite turns. It's infinite turns off of playing 3 lands a turn. That's right. I like it. I like blue cards. I also like artifacts. I also like taking extra turns. So it's got my seal of approval, this combo. Next up, we got some 1/2 4C. Lavinia. Azorius Renegade. Fall of the Thran. And Scholar of New Horizons. Scholar. Let's start off with Lavinia, 2 mana 2/2. Opponents can't cast a non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. So don't be playing 7 mana cards with only 2 lands in play. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. And then Fall of the Thran is 6 mana, destroy all lands. Oh no. Then Chapter 2 and 3, each player returns 2 land cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. So what you're saying is like you're not going to let people cast their stuff so easily. Then Scholar of New Horizons is 2 mana, enters the battlefield with a counter on it. Tap, remove a counter from a permanent you control. Search your library for a plains card and reveal it. If an opponent controls more lands than you, you may put that card onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card on the battlefield, put it into your hand. Search your library for a plains card. Oh no, wait a minute. This is not that crazy. I don't understand this combo. This is not even a combo, really. What is this thing? Each player returns. You blow up the lands. You get them back. You don't let people cast stuff. You like ramp. It doesn't even feel. It just feels. This feels more like synergy than like an actual combo. I don't even know what it does. Remove the count. Oh, it does have a comp. Remove a counter from a permanent you control to perpetually keep. Okay, so all of a sudden, with that explanation, that is a great combo. Yeah, you destroy. I thought it was just like keep your opponents down on mana. You get extra mana. Make it hard for them to play spells. Yeah, you just perpetually blow up all the lands. They all gone. Do you even have lands? I guess you get for 1 turn of plains, whereas your opponents get nothing. Yeah, keep destroying the land. You like land destruction? You don't? Well, I'm sorry. Boom, boom, boom. It's all over. Does the combo have to? I don't know. You can deck someone. Can't play anything. They're going to deck out. They're going to deck out. Okay, we got Sol of Vagan Craig. Thank you very much for the super chat. You have Famished Paladin. Presence of Gond. Simple but effective, and a Soul Warden. So you want infinite life, I see. So Soul Warden enters the battle. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. You're probably going to get the extra creatures from the Presence of Gond after putting it on the Famished Paladin. It doesn't untap during your untap step. However, if you gain life, you get to untap the Famished Paladin. So you tap, get a 1/1, trigger the Soul Warden, gain a life. Also untap Famished Paladin. Infinite creatures and infinite life. The only way you're going to lose in that situation is Thassa's Oracle. And we have Bryce the Haughty with Ether, Heart, Mishra's Eminent One, and Resonator. Mishra's something. Mishra. There's no such thing as Mishra's Eminent One. It doesn't exist. I'm looking at every Mishra card in existence. Does anyone know what this combo's with? Bryce, explain yourself. Just Mishra? Oh, and is Eminent was... is this the curse of no comma? Okay, hold on. Let's look up Mishra. The Mishra. There's a few Mishras, though. Oh, here we go. There is a Mishra Eminent One. What, like Scryfall didn't understand I had to put a comma there or something? And then the Resonator. You know what? You're good, Bryce. You're good. Scryfall is just being a jerk. Okay, now I have another problem. I can't find Resonator. Oh, I guess it's Strionic Resonator. You gotta give me the whole card, damn it. You gotta give me the whole card, Bryce. I get confused around here. I don't know all these cards. What the hell is a Resonator? It's a 2-mana artifact, pay 2, tap, copy target, triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets. Double them triggers. Mishra, Eminent One. Alright, you got Grixis 2 generic for a 5/4 human artificer at the beginning of combat on your turn. Create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature token. In addition to its other types, it gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step, and I'm sure you could copy it with the Strionic Resonator. But what's the last piece of the puzzle here? Gaunty's... Is this the thing? Is this the last card? Hold on. No, it's Aether Heart. Oh, it's probably Gaunty's Aether Heart. That's right, Gaunty's Aether Heart. Okay, we got 6 mana. Whenever Aether Heart or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy. Pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy. Exile Gaunty's Aether Heart. Take an extra turn after this one. Oh, is that what you copy with this? How the hell does this work? Yeah, Scryfall being a diblick today. But it's so clear. I looked up Mishra Eminent One. Like, it should have known. Okay, so now I don't understand the combo. Whenever Gaunty's Heart or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy. Does this trigger energy? Sorry, we do get an artifact, so we get another 2 energy off of that. Create a token that's a copy of target. So I can make a copy of maybe Gaunty's Aether Heart. Hold on, let's put Aether Heart a lot closer. I'm sure this works. The combo is taking extra turns and then copying them. The copy is a different name. Both trigger. Copy one of the triggers to make it exactly enough energy. Exile the token and repeat. Something of that effect. Pure Demon says you copy the Mishra's ability to create 2 copies of Aether Heart, and they make 4 energy each, I think. Yeah, we got a second one, people. We found a second one. It's breaking our brain. It was only 3 cards, but we still have no idea what the hell it does. Exactly. I'm sure there's a combo here. Like, I'm sure. It's just one of these combos. I gotta see it work to internalize it. Copy Resonator to copy the ability, but you need mana. Well, we got some. Well, we cast these cards, so we have some mana. We could probably have at least 5 mana just lying around, just like change in a couch or something. Anyway, good combo. Someone in the comments section that can precisely explain this one, I would appreciate it. I think everyone else would appreciate it. All right, King Ginger. We have Anichthia, 3 blind mice, and doubling season. Oops. No, we're not done. We're almost done. Pure Demon is right. What did Pure Demon say? Oh, you copy the Mishra's ability, create 2 copies of the Ether Heart, and they make 4 energy each, I think. There we go. So we're gonna go with that one. Okay, what are we doubling season? If an effect would create 1 or more tokens or an account, put a counter on something, you double them. So would that affect sagas? Okay, hold on. Let's look at Anichthia, Hand of Erebos. It's a 4/4 with Menace for 5 mana. Other enchantments you control have Menace. That is a very weird ability. When Anichthia enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-artifact enchantment card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black zombie creature token in addition to its other types. Are we, like, stealing this? And then when it enters the battlefield, it's a saga. So does it go straight to Chapter 2? Create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Which could be this thing, which then makes another copy, which makes another copy, which makes another copy. Does it lock the game, though? Because you don't have an option. Create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So you have infinite tokens, but it won't stop. Infinite creature tokens, infinite copies of tokens you control. But you need to have a random token on the battlefield to copy, because if 3 blind mice is your only token, I think you lock the game. You can eventually copy a copy of a white mouse. Create a 1/1 white mouse. Doesn't it go straight to Chapter 2? Because it just enters the battlefield with two lore counters with the doubling season on the battlefield. We keep making tokens, but we keep making I think we need at least 1 token creature on the battlefield that we can copy, or a token of random thing. Like the combo works, but I think the combo has to end because you have to. It doesn't say may, so you have to copy a 3 blind mice token on the battlefield, and you just do it infinite times, and then the game is locked. You get a draw. Yep, when you want to end it, you just copy another mouse. What other mouse? Can I copy one of these mice? If we can copy the mouse, I think that would be fine, but I'm not sure. I just don't know how this... Okay, let's say 3 blind mice enters the battlefield with doubling season on the battlefield. Does Chapter 1 even trigger, or does it go straight to Chapter 2? Samrod says, so many super chats. This is my infinite money glitch. This is an infinite money machine glitch, this show. People love Coffee and MTG. Lots of mice, no tails. Okay, Judge, let me know. I have 2 questions. Does Chapter 1 even trigger? Which I think it doesn't, because it just enters the battlefield on Chapter 2. But then after that, can you opt to not choose anything? But I don't think so. So, I mean, you can... So long as you have a random token on the battlefield, you can copy it as the last thing you do. But you have to have that random last thing on the battlefield, or it just goes on for forever. It would start at 1, but doubling season would double the lore counters? No. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many. So you start immediately at Chapter... So you put 2 counters on it immediately. You have 2 lore counters. It comes into play on 2 lore counters immediately. So I don't think it triggers at 1. All chapters that haven't triggered do trigger. Okay, if that's the case, then this works. It worked anyway. It'll just work better if you get... I didn't know you get 2 chapters at once. Get Chapter 1 and 2. That's all I need to know. All right, apparently I didn't end the show early enough. No, we got more super chats. Starting with Ashen. What do you got for us, Ashen? Smokestack. Got a smokestack combo. Hey, if you have 4 or more cards, Ashen, you got to explain the damn thing. Sometimes, even when it's 3 combos, I don't... Oh, no, it's... Oh, no, this is a 3-card combo. Okay, you're good. I hope. Okay, so we start off with Smokestack. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on Smokestack. I think it should have the... What is it? Spirited Away soot guy. The furnace guy. That would be a great altar here. The magic wears off, they'll turn back into soot. Don't help them. Okay, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter on Smokestack. Yep, it'll blow everything up. Mazarik says it's a 2/2 flyer. Whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, so they sack a random land and your stuff gets buffed up. And then Namada says if a creature an opponent controls would die, instead, exile it instead, so it's gone for forever. And when you do, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. So they're gonna keep. So you actually keep getting creatures to sack to the Smokestack. That's actually an amazing comp. This is great synergy. And eventually your opponents are just gonna run out of stuff, and your stuff just keeps getting bigger. And you can keep sacking stuff because every single time they sack something, you get saplings. You actually get a lot of saplings because for each opponent that sacks something, you get a green creature. So if they sack 2 things, you get like 6 creatures. That's an amazing combo. All right, next up we've got Jacob Thune, Mycosynth Lattice. Lattice combo. No better way to lose all your friends than with the Lattice combo. March of the Machines. Is this a combo? Oh, is this an old card? March of the Machines. Isn't that literally a set that just came out? So it's basically the enchantment that became a set. March of the Machines. Okay, it's the Lattice. Everything's an artifact. March of the Machine says, enchantment. Each non-creature artifact is an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. Each non-creature artifact. So all the creatures become artifacts? Well, each non-creature. Oh, no. So everyone's land. Oh, is this blow up all the lands? So basically, the lands aren't creatures, but they're artifacts. And then you play this thing. Oh, your lands are creatures. Now they're all gone. All of a sudden, you look at your mana base, and you get nothing. Yeah, lands are artifacts that are 0/0s. It's Armageddon Light. But also, you might lock up the game with the Lattice. So there's a lot of combos with the Lattice by itself. All right, cool combo. Backtard with Heartless. Hidetsugu. And, oh, the OG. Solfim Mayhem. Dominance. Okay, 4 mana for a 5/4 Phyrexian Horror. If you source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player permanent instead. Also, for 2 Phyrexian and 1 mana, discard 2 cards, put an indestructible counter on Solfim Mayhem Dominus. How's that combo with this damn card? 5 mana, 4/3 Heartless Hidetsugu. Tap Heartless Hidetsugu deals damage to each player, each equal to half that player's life total rounded down. Okay, it deals damage to each player equal to half that player's life total. That's a lot of damage. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent, it deals... Oh, then you just kill them. I see. It's just, it's absolute GG for everyone. Yeah, half doubled equals 100%. 100% returns over there. All right, cool combo. And we got Josh Karen here. Josh Karen. Jace's Mindseeker. Displacer Kitten? Is it that easy? Displacer Kitten. You cast stuff, you blink stuff. Jace's Mindseeker. 6 mana, 4/4 flyer. Enters the battlefield. Target opponent puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from among them. Oh, without paying its mana cost. So there's no guarantee that this will go infinite, but it will be absolutely hilarious if it does. So you cast it. Sorry, you cast it when it enters the battlefield. You cast something from the opponent's graveyard, or something from their graveyard, right? Cast instant or sorcery. which will trigger the Displacer Kitten, which will blink this thing, enters the battlefield again, and hopefully you can just keep chaining again. Maybe the Storm player will screw themselves. Yeah, loop as many times as you can, as long as you can cast the stuff, as long as they have a lot of instants and sorceries. Really ruin the combo player's day. And that's it, we run out of super chats. I am free! Wait, Gobbo is free, or whatever. I can't remember the guy from the movie. And as usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to all the supporters, the people on Patreon, the members on YouTube, and all the super chatters that super chat to be part of the show. And we got to thank everyone who's here in the morning to not only contribute combos, but also explain some of them as well. Like Old Boy, Samrot the Raccoon, Anna, Christopher B, Toads. We got Claw the Jaded, Lion Tamer, Mr. Deadhead, Matthew, Ringer. Debbie is free! That's right. Some124C, Tommy Siddons, Platonic Liquid, Steve Cooper, Jess Cole, Zeke, Snowcades, because as usual, my coffee crew. Keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.